Okay, if you were to think of, I'm gonna ask each of you this question. I'll start with you, Jade. If you were to think of 3 artists, I'm not saying it's your all-time favorite, I don't like putting that on there, but if you were to think of 3 artists, all-time, any genre, that pop into your head is just meaning a lot to you, that, you know, if you were on your deathbed, the music that you'd be thinking about is like your favorite memories and the things that make you the happiest. So who are a few of those artists, 3 of them?
I would say Mark Anthony, Coldplay. Man, I could listen to Coldplay. Like, I think I have like a 1,000 plays on my Sparks iTunes. Is that creepy?
No, you're a girl, so I'm totally okay with that.
That's not a chick song.
No,
Come
no,
on.
I consider Coldplay a sort of girly rock band. Whether it's based in any truth or not, any of my friends who break plans with me to go to a Coldplay concert, I get inherently upset about. All right, but Coldplay, Mark Anthony, random start.
Coldplay, I really feel the Yeah Yeah Yeahs a lot. I love them. I saw them at the All Points West, and I was like, oh my God. I love Karen O. That's my girl.
She's an artist to the fullest.
She's dope.
All right, that's an interesting blend to start out with. Quince, anything, hip hop. You don't feel obligated to say non-hip hop, because if you were to ask me, in fact, I'll give you 3 when I'm done, and mine, well, hip hop will definitely be there.
I definitely would probably have to start with like Michael's Off the Wall album. I would want to hear that just because, you know, if I just went through the course of my life, it would be that, it would be, feel like this, I either go Michael, Marvin Luther, Shaka, Diana Ross. And I could also go Genesis, Police, Foreigner. I could go Madonna. I mean, like if I was on my deathbed, I would be like an iPod shuffle going off. Oh gosh, I'm out of here. I can't forget all this.
But that's something that people forgot about with this generation in general, is that it's such a blend. Like,
I grew up when hip hop erected, so, and what beats, with the first hip hop production was, of course, blending, you know, we had the blends. What DJs actually did were blends when you would take an acapella of a soul record, like even if the world starts to fall in, there's the one thing I'm sure of, yeah, and then you like, doom, 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 yeah, and hit it with Check the Rhyme, or hit it with Spread Love, so it would just be going off in my head.
Right, that's
like,
it.
It would be like the ultimate Ron G. Blend tape.
Exactly, right? And for like a lot of hip hop heads, I feel like, who grew up in the 80s, your basis, for a lot of people, is soul and R&B, and then in my case, all kinds of random stuff, because my parents weren't into soul particularly. So, but you hit hip hop, then you added hip hop to it, but people feel like, I think for a long time, a lot of people didn't realize just how much people were a blend musically. You know what I mean? Like, what are your favorites, you think?
Prince Purple Rain, that's the first record I started dancing in and singing to. Then it'd be David Bowie's Spider from Mars. And then College Dropout would be the one I'd have to hear. Because I find they all reflect the eccentricities that I love about each era. Bowie in the 70s, where a dude who's dating this beautiful supermodel is coming out with full-on spandex, and, you know, people calling him whatever you want. And it's still, he delivered, like, such an artist, man, where he continues, like, yeah, where he worked with Luther Vandross, and he's singing on Young Americans and all that stuff. And then Prince, and yeah, that's where to be. It's true blend, because where I grew up, man, it was like the radio station was country rock.
Oh, really?
That was
Yeah,
country
it's pretty
rock.
country out there.
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty country. So if like, it would be like Patsy Cline on that list too, and Johnny Cash. It's so hard to narrow the 3, but the ones I know that pop in the head instantly are those 3 artists.
Yeah, I think for me, the artist that would I'm trying to think what most quickly pops into my head is Paul Simon, Tribe Called Quest. Another group you got to be in there for a time. Why are you popping up in there for once?
And then you got so many B-level, I don't want to say B-level, but like maybe like second tier out of mind things, like every woman, every man, join the caravan of love. You got records like that. You got Ready for the World. You got like different, like, man, we didn't even say New Edition. Like,
Oh yeah, just like great soul pop from the late 80s and early 90s.
And then you got NWA.
Yeah, like how can
Like,
you?
I probably would be on my deathbed like, nigga, the attitude going on.
The crazy thing is, I would be too.
Yeah,
That's the wild thing about
exactly.
how hip hop affected everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah, like there's so much different stuff that affects you so much when you're that like when you're really, really into music.
Yeah.
Like,
I think this generation now of like the young, like my nieces and nephews who are like 10, 11, I think that's the true shuffle generation. They understand that term to the fullest. When it's funny,
How do you mean?
how do I mean?
Yeah.
My little nephew, he's about maybe 7. He turns to me and he pulls out his iPod and he's like, "Have you heard this?" And it's Michael Jackson. And it's like, okay, and it's that, but then he also knows like rock, and it's constantly, every time he hits that fast forward, it's not a genre, it's just a hit, you know, and they don't really understand. If I was to tell them alternative, what's that? Yeah.
I have a situation where like I'm hanging out with my girlfriend's little brother who's 17 and lives in Maryland and isn't that into hip hop. Like he's not like I was or anything, but like we'll be in the car and he's playing me the songs that he's listening to now. And as a result of what's so easily available, I'm like, how are you playing me like, or he'll play a random Black Star song. And really for his level of interest in music, he has no business even really knowing a Black Star song. But because things are so accessible, while the negative is it requires a little bit of less knowledge and passion to kind of get into music, you really are exposed to like, he was putting me on to like Drake tunes that I'd never heard. You know, like I'm caught up in all the Drake stuff that I heard late, and he's like, "Oh, you haven't heard this?" And he's playing me stuff that's like underground, real hip hop that he's able to get because whatever blog site he goes to, he has something, he's like, yeah, you can download a mixtape a week. They give you a mixtape a week and they choose 25 songs and I download it every week. And some of it's crap, but some of it's fire. And like some of it's, and I'm like, man, you had to work. When we were growing up, if you were into hip hop, it required a real like. Do you remember? I'm sure you guys remember. Like, there was no rap section. You went to the soul section to find rap to find rap tapes.
That's right. Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw a rap hip hop section. I was like, whoa. Of course, it was always by the counter, so no one would steal anything. But like, it was a soul section. No, they really did. Sometimes they'd have the rap tape section behind the counter. You'd have to be like
cigarettes.
But that's like, it really required this level of work that's not there anymore, which I do miss.
Just the love inside of the heart, y'all. Yeah, for the love, y'all.